Right now, everyone's buzzing about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, blockchain, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and NFTs. But honestly, what do these even mean? Welcome to a video that'll take you from knowing nothing about crypto to being a pro. I'll explain what it is, why it's so important, and why I've invested in, and even the not so great parts. Back in the early days, before money existed, people didn't trade the way we do now. Let's call this the first stage. If you wanted something from someone, you had to offer something in return, like saying, "Hey, I like your horse. Would you mind trading it for my cow?" But here's the problem. Even if you like the horse, the other person might not like the cow, so the trade wouldn't happen. Then came stage 2, coins. They were made of precious stuff like gold and silver, so everyone agreed they had value. You've heard of the British pound, right? It used to be a pound of silver. So if I had coins, even if you didn't want my cow, we could still trade for your horse. Because the coins were precious, you could take them and trade for something else you wanted, even if you didn't care about the silver itself. Handy, huh? But things evolved to stage 3. Banks and governments took charge, and we realized we could use something even handier: paper money. It did the same job, but now the money wasn't valuable because it was silver. It was valuable because the government said so. Take this £10 note in the UK, for example. It's made of plastic now, but it's just a promise from the Bank of England that they'll pay the person holding it. It's like a receipt showing you own a certain amount of money. As technology got better, we found easier ways to handle our stuff. Now we're in what I'd call stage 4. More people buy things online using credit cards. At this point, we don't even see our money anymore. It's not about coins, paper, or animals. It's just numbers on a computer screen. When I buy music from Amazon, my bank decreases my account by $10, and Amazon's bank increases by $10. Simple. So, why am I telling you all this? To give context to where cryptocurrencies fit in, lots of people still think it's the most convenient way of trading ever. Stage 5. Cryptocurrencies are totally virtual. I know the Bitcoin symbol looks like coin, but it's not physical. With crypto, there's no gold, no silver, or paper. It's just digital. But the basic idea is the same. Think of it as keeping track of who paid who. But instead of lots of different records, there's just one huge record called a ledger. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others are creating a whole lot of buzz lately. But why? What's the big deal about them? Well, using these kinds of money has some really good things about it. First off, it's not controlled by any one group. Even though every transaction using a cryptocurrency is written down in the same book, lots of people have their own copy of that book. People who do cryptocurrency mining have their own copy of this book on their computers. There are about 1 million of these miners all over the world, and they get a little bit of cryptocurrency as a reward for their work. Here's how it works. If I spend 5 bitcoins at a store, that store doesn't just check with one bank's records. Instead, it checks with every computer on this network to see if I have enough. If I do, each computer says okay, and then they write it all down. Because there are so many copies of the same book, it's easy to know if someone is trying to do something tricky, like change the numbers on their copy of the book to get more money. The system knows if most of the copies say one thing and only one says something different, then that one must be wrong. The system is organized, and people trust it because it keeps track of transactions openly. It's much better than having bits of information here and there. It might sound tricky right now, but as we go through this, you'll see it's simpler for a lot of folks. Many places in the world have internet, and that's all you need for cryptocurrency transactions. But lots of places don't have traditional banks, which need a lot of paperwork and stuff. But here's the big plus of cryptocurrency. You don't need banks anymore, because everyone keeps track of transactions. You can make payments across the world almost instantly, without waiting half a day, and there are no limits. You don't have to worry about changing money from one kind to another, or about extra fees either. Now, let's dive into the interesting part. Cryptocurrencies use special technology called cryptography to keep things safe. Blockchain is a common technology used by cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. It's a super organized way of keeping records. Every time I use Bitcoin to buy something, that gets written down in a block. Each block has details about the transaction, a special code that's unique, and the code of the last block. The most important thing is, if you change something in a block, its code changes too, because each block also has the code of the block before it. If one block changes, the next block doesn't match, and everything after that is wrong too. Now, since so many users have their own copy of this record, if I tried to cheat and change a block to get more money, I'd have to change every block on at least 500,000 computers. That's just not going to happen. It's way harder than simply breaking into someone's bank account and taking money. So cryptocurrencies have some serious security. Cryptocurrencies have their ups and downs. I'll talk about the downs soon, but first, let's see why some folks really like them. Now let's talk about putting money into cryptocurrencies. It's like trading regular money, such as dollars, for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. People do this hoping these cryptocurrencies will become super valuable. They dream that the value will shoot up and they can either spend them or swap them for more dollars than they got for them. When a cryptocurrency suddenly rises in a lot of value, people might say it's going to the moon. But what going to the moon means depends on who you ask. Now, the big decision is which cryptocurrency to use. There's just not Bitcoin. There are over 4,000 different ones, each with its special traits. For example, Ethereum, the second most popular, handles transactions faster than Bitcoin. Cardano is said to be technologically advanced. And then there's Litecoin, which uses a newer way to work. If you're enjoying this video, subscribing would be great. But remember, what I'm doing isn't financial advice. I've only put a small bit of money into this, not worried if I lose it. I see it as a hopeful try rather than a smart investment. My portfolio goes up and down a lot, not very steady. The cryptocurrency market is in a very odd state right now, and that leads up to the bad stuff, the problems with it. One big issue is that cryptocurrencies are so unpredictable. People don't really know how much they're supposed to be worth since they're new and all digital. Unlike gold, their value is mostly guessed. News and events like good article or a tweet from Elon Musk can make the prices jump or drop a lot. While some places lets you use cryptocurrencies for stuff like booking trips or donating, many businesses have been wishy-washy. Companies like Microsoft, Tesla, and Burger King say they'd accept Bitcoin but change their minds later. Let's address a couple more aspects that could be considered issues with cryptocurrency. Firstly, there's a concern about the environment. The security of cryptocurrencies comes from many computers checking transactions, which uses a lot of electricity. Some argue that regular banks consume more power, and newer cryptocurrencies might be more energy efficient. Let's just hope that in the future, we'll power these systems with renewable sources. Another point to consider is that some people think cryptocurrencies are perfect for criminals because there's no real police oversight at the moment. However, in reality, only a small percentage of crypto transactions are illegal, much less compared to regular cash transactions. Some mistakenly believe that cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, offer anonymity, but your unique ID gets embedded in the blockchain every time you use crypto. Cash, in that sense, is harder to trace for shady activities. I won't delve into how I know that, but cryptocurrencies have also brought about some peculiar and interesting developments. Have you ever heard of NFTs or non-fungible tokens? They're a bit baffling to me. Essentially, you can purchase digital ownership of something like an artwork using blockchain technology. Owning an NFT doesn't stop others from using or sharing it, but you'll own the original piece while they have copies. Interestingly, many NFTs are just JPEG pictures. Some find it amusing that buying an NFT doesn't grant rights to the tangible thing, unlike regular purchase when you can create or sell based on ownership. With NFTs, the original owner keeps all the rights. People are willing to pay a substantial amount for NFTs. For instance, a Gucci Ghost NFT sold at $3,600, and even Jack Dorsey sold his first tweet as an NFT for $2.9 million. Can you believe the value placed on just owning a digital image? Let's now briefly discuss Dogecoin. It started as a joke but gained traction, leading those who bought it at a low price to become billionaires later. Quite amazing, isn't it? Thanks for joining us on CoinVantage. Journey through cryptocurrencies. We aim to make these original currencies easier to understand for everyone. Exploring blockchain, NFTs, investments, and more has been fascinating. Stay informed, share knowledge, and keep learning crypto with us at CoinVantage. Thanks for being here today. We'll catch you on the next one.